Hello, all. Hope you all are doing good. So, in today's session, we are going to learn about the human heart. We are going to see why the human heart is very important organ of our body and how it functions, what are its functions and what it does inside our human body. So, we are going to see all this in today's session. So, this is about our physical heart, not the emotional heart. The emotional heart is I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling angry. All these are feelings of your heart, which is the emotional side. But this is about our physical heart. How does our physical heart function? So it is very important inside our body. Without the presence of heart, you won't survive, or there is no life without heart. So if you see a car, how does a car run? For the car, the engine is very important. Without the engine, will the car run? No. The engine is that's why called the heart of the car. So similarly, our heart is so important. Without the heart, we will not be able to do anything or even live. So the heart does one of the most important function, which is supplying blood throughout our body. So it acts like a pump, lub dub, lub dub. So that's how it functions inside our human body. So if you see the human heart, it is muscular in the form of muscles. So the heart is a muscular organ, and if you see the heart diagram here, you can see the heart is slightly tilted towards the left. So, where is the location of this heart? The heart is present in the middle of our chest. So, it is present in the middle of our chest and between the lungs, behind the breastbone, slightly tilted towards the left. So, to understand better, just think your heart is located in the center of the chest, slightly tilted towards the left. And if you see here, all the arteries, important arteries, as well as the veins, are connecting to the heart. So we have the pulmonary artery, the aorta artery, the pulmonary veins, the supervena cava, which is a vein, the inferior vena cava, which is the vein, the descending aorta, it's the artery. So all these are connecting to the heart. So they take the blood supply from the heart and circulate it to the rest of our body, including our lungs. So now we will see how the heart actually functions. Now, if you see here, you are seeing the two tubes here, blue color ones here, which is the superior vena cava, and the below one, the inferior vena cava. So if you see this arrow direction, this shows the direction of the blood flow. So if you see here, the superior vena cava, the blood comes from the upper part of the body. The upper part of the body, like your brain, your shoulders, your neck. From all those parts, the blood is collected and it enters the heart through the superior vena cava. And below is the inferior vena cava, where the blood from all the um, bottom of the body enters the heart. Your legs, your hands, your stomach, all those blood is collected from all the below parts of the body and it enters the heart. So you have understood this both. So we are going to start from this side of the heart. That's why I wanted to explain about these two first. Now, if you see, the heart has four chambers. Okay, this is the first chamber. Okay, so simply to understand, there are four compartments. So this is the first compartment, the first chamber, which is called the right atrium. Okay, the below one somewhat bigger chamber compared to the right atrium is the right ventricle. Okay, and this is the left ventricle, and another chamber. This is the left atrium. So we have four compartments or chambers inside the human heart. So if whatever image you are seeing is the dissected image, that's why you are able to see the inside part of the heart. So that is the first part. Now we have like you have doors. So here also we have doors for each chamber as well as the arteries and veins whichever are no going inside the heart. So first we will see this door which is called valve here. This is called the tricuspid valve. Okay, here tricuspid valve which is between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Next comes the bicuspid valve or mitral valve. Okay, which is nothing but the uh, wall present between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Okay, hope you understood that. Next comes this one. This is called the pulmonary wall. Okay, from the word pulmonary, you can understand it is something to do with lungs. So, pulmonary wall means this is the door which is present for the pulmonary artery, something related to lungs. So, some blood flow goes to lungs from here. That's why pulmonary wall. Next comes the aortic wall. So, this is aortic wall here present, this one, which is the wall which comes from this one, which is the aorta. Aorta is the largest artery present in the human body. So, largest artery, that is the aorta wall. So, these are the four important walls which have doors for them. That is that's why they're called walls. So, till here you would have understood the important parts. Now we will see what are the arteries and major veins present which are entering the human heart. We already discussed about the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava which carries blood from upper and the lower part of the body respectively. Next comes this aorta. Aorta will take the blood. It's an artery. So just remember artery means it carries blood outside from the heart. So it carries blood to different parts of the body. Veins will carry blood into the body. So that's how you have to the remember veins will collect the blood and enter the heart, and the arteries will carry the blood away from the heart. So this is one of the arteries. This is one biggest artery in the human body, which is called aorta, and it carries blood away from the heart. So this is how it goes away. And below is the extension of aorta. It's descending aorta, which carries heart to the lower part of the body. This carries blood to the upper part of the body. Next is a pulmonary artery. So what does pulmonary artery do? This carries the blood because it's an artery, it carries the blood away from the heart. So it carries the blood to pulmonary itself means lungs. So it carries the blood to lungs. And next comes the pulmonary veins. So this carries the blood from the lungs to the heart. So veins means it carries the blood into the heart. So pulmonary vein carries the blood from the lungs into the heart. So we have two pulmonary veins connecting to the heart. So if you this collects blood from the right side of the lung, this collects blood from the left lung and enters the heart. Similarly, here the blood is carried to the left lung, and here the blood is carried to the right lung. So it just branches into two parts. See, if you see the diagram here, so by looking at the arrows, you will know the direction of the blood in which it flows. So this is about the different walls, arteries, and all the parts of the heart. So if you know this many parts, it's good. So next is, see, whatever you see, the pink color thing here, this is nothing but your muscles. So if you see the muscles here in the right side, it is less muscle is there, and towards the left side, this on both sides of this no left ventricle, you have more muscle, because here it requires less push compared to here, because here it pushes the blood only till the lungs, but it has to push blood to all parts of the body. So it will require more force compared to this right ventricle. That's why there is more muscle around this left ventricle compared to the right ventricle. So, so if you see, this is all you can understand about the different parts of the human heart. Now we will see the function, what happens, how the blood flows from this human heart to the different parts. Now, as I told you, this is superior vena cava and this is inferior vena cava, which collects the blood from upper part of the body, and this inferior one collects the body from lower part of the body. So what blood it collects? It's collects the deoxygenated blood. There is no oxygen in the blood. We have used all the oxygen in the blood. It collects that deoxygenated blood and it pours it inside this right atrium. So from lower part also it pours both the blood into this right atrium. So once the right atrium fills up, it pushes that blood to the right ventricle. So that time this tricuspid valve opens and the blood is pushed into this right ventricle. So the reason why these no valves are present, these valves, tricuspid, bicuspid, or whatever walls are present, it's because to prevent the blood from flowing back. So it should not flow back. The blood should remain inside this, and it should no prevent the flow back of the blood to the right atrium. So back to prevent the backward movement of blood, these flaps are present. This is called tricuspid valve. Okay, and this is called bicuspid. If you see, this is called bi, this is called tri. The reason why that is called bi and tri is here in tricuspid wall, if you see, it will have three walls, like see, three flaps are there like that. In bicuspid, you have only two flaps. So that's why this valve is called tricuspid, and this valve is called bicuspid. So now what happens is it pushes the blood from the tricuspid valve into ventricle. So once it enters the ventricle, now this is deoxygenated blood. No oxygen is present in the blood. This has to be oxygenated. So which is the organ which helps in oxygenating the blood? Any idea? It's nothing but your lungs. So now this blood, this ventricle is squeezed and this blood is pushed through the pulmonary artery. So pulmonary arteries, which carries the blood to the lungs. So if you see, it is carrying to the lungs on both the sides, one to the left lung and one to the right lung. So this flap present here, it's present to prevent the backward flow of blood. So it will prevent this blood from, no, after it enters to flowing back into the ventricle. So um, this is called the pulmonary artery and it sends the blood to the lungs. So till there you understood. We got the impure blood, the deoxygenated blood. We pushed it to ventricle. We pushed it to lungs for oxygenation. Now it has entered the lungs for oxygenation. So let us see here. So we have the lungs. Okay, and it has entered the lungs. The blood has entered the lungs for oxygenation. Now, after this happens, the lungs have oxygenated the blood now. Now, from where they will re enter the heart. Now, what happens is from this heart, the blood is sent back from these lungs, there's a blood is sent back to pulmonary veins. So, it enters the pulmonary veins from here and here, both the sides. And now what happens is from the lungs the blood enters the both walls here and it enters the left atrium. So it enters the left atrium. Let us remove this. Okay, so this enters the left atrium here. Two pulmonary veins are there. From that, from this right side lung, it enters from here. From left side lung, it enters here, and the blood is poured into the left atrium. Now you know the blood has been oxygenated, and pulmonary means again lungs, veins means it enters the heart. So we have oxygenated blood entering the left atrium, and from here it is pushed through the bicuspid wall into the left ventricle. So hope you have understood till here. So now we have the oxygenated blood, nice pure blood. It has been oxygenated and it is pushed to the left ventricle. From the left ventricle, now where it should go, we have to supply it to the rest of the body. So from here, the blood, this left ventricle is pushed and it enters this wall, the aortic wall, and enters the aorta. So aorta is so the aorta is the largest artery. So the blood from the left ventricle is pushed through this aortic wall into the aorta. So largest artery, and this further branches into smaller arteries and it supplies blood to the upper parts of the body. The pure oxygenated blood is supplied. And from the descending aorta, the blood is supplied to the lower part of the body. The pure oxygenated blood is supplied. So, hope you have understood till here how the human heart pumps blood and how it functions. And now, what we are going to see is who actually, know, tells the heart to do what it is doing. The squeezing from here to squeeze the blood into ventricles and squeezes from here to the pulmonary veins and to aorta. Who actually is asking the heart to do all these things, or who is giving the instructions? Do you think it is the brain? Any guesses? Usually we do what our brain tells us to do. So do you think the heart is also getting instructions from the brain to do the pumping which it does? Any guesses? Just think. The answer is no. The brain is not involved in heart's function. That's why you would have seen cases where the brain is dead but the heart is still beating, like in coma patients, because both are not linked. So, heart has its own instructing systems embedded inside the heart, which is nothing but called the electrical system of the heart or the conducting system of the heart. So, we are going to look into that now. So, if you see, this is the electrical system of the heart. So, if you see here, this is the right atrium. So, at the top of the right atrium wall, we have this set of muscle tissue, which is called the sinoatrial node, which is nothing but called the pacemaker. You would have heard about pacemaker. Some people would have told, I have got the pacemaker, no, inserted into my heart, or it is attached into my body. So that pacemaker is nothing but your sinoatrial node, which is also nothing but is just a tissue which actually generates electrical impulses. So this is the part which generates electrical impulses, which asks the right atrium to squeeze, so to press and push the blood to the ventricle. So usually what happens when the blood enters the right atrium, it's when it's full, it automatically, these flaps are open and blood enters the ventricle. Nearly 70% of blood, 70 to 80, it enters the ventricle. The remaining 20 to 30% is what is pushed using this signal from sinoatrial node, from right atrium to right ventricle. So this is branched into three more branches, no, like this, the green color one which I am seeing, this three branches, and it reaches the uh, something called as arterioventricular node, which is the AV node. So arterioventricular node is nothing but your AV node. Okay, this gives the electrical signal, the sinoatrial node, and this node is present at the bottom of the right atrium in the corner, where it stops the electrical signal temporarily. So 120 milliseconds it stops it from no sending the electrical impulse down further. So this is called the atrioventricular node. The reason is why it gives that pause is it always no, it's squeezing this right atrium. It will take some time to push all the blood to the right ventricle. So if it immediately sends this signal and this ventricle is no uh, squeezed, what will happen is the blood from here to right ventricle no will not be fully emptied into this. So it will not have enough no blood to push back into the further arteries or veins. So that's why it gives that 120 millisecond wait. This is the tissue, no, this muscle tissue which is present here. These are the specialized cells. Okay, this sinoatrial node is something which works on its own, and this does not require any signal from brain. It no sends these electrical signals, in a rhythmic way. So continuously it sends the electrical signal. So when this does not work, or here some cells get damaged, then external pacemakers are um, set, and they send electrical signals for the heart to function. So till here you have understood Next is um, after this, what happens is, so this it's having three branches from here. The other one, simultaneously it branches to the left atrium as well. See, if you see here, it sends the electrical signal. So simultaneously, both these chambers, contract. So they squeeze at the same time. So this is sent to this left atrium as well, to this branch. This branch is called the Batchman's bundle. Next is it further goes down in between the ventricles. So this connecting part is called the atrium to the ventricle part is called the bundle of His. It's called the bundle of His. Uh, that's the name for the branches there. And it further bundle of His further branches into two different branches. Um, So one is left bundle branch and the right bundle branch here. So this one is the right bundle branch. So it goes on till the apex of the ventricles. After that, we have all the Purkinje fibers, which moves on top of this ventricular muscular structure. So this sends the electrical signals. So the electrical signals are transmitted. If you see these arrows, how the electrical signals are transmitted in this direction, and they are sent all over the ventricle. So here your signal starts, it spreads to the right atrium, left atrium, it squeezes, then it goes like this, branches, and it sends signal to this right ventricle and left ventricle, and it squeezes them and pushes the blood to these arteries as well as veins present, so that it sends the blood to different parts of the body. This sends to lungs, this sends to your upper part and lower part of the body. So this is how the electrical system of the heart works. So these tracks are called the anterior internodal tract, middle internodal tract, and posterior these tracks. So this is how actually the electrical system of heart works. So without this electrical system, your heart will not work. So from here to here, at least blood will flow because from top to bottom, pressure difference, the blood will flow. But what about the blood to be pushed up? Like in this case, it has to push it to the pulmonary artery here. It has to push the blood here, or to the aorta. The blood has to be pushed. How it will push? It will require a lot of energy, and that energy, electrical signal, is sent from this pacemaker, which is the sinoatrial SA node. So, in case of the failure of this, temporarily this AV node or the atrioventricular node acts as the pacemaker. In this absence, the Purkinje fiber acts as the pacemaker. But the problem is the amount of energy or the electric signal it has is less. If it has 100%, this will have only 60%. So it will be able to pump only 60%. And this will have only 40% of electrical signal. So you'll not get enough blood to your body if this SA node does not work, the pacemaker. So that is very important. So if any problem happens in this signal, then you will be having problems with your blood circulation. You might get a heart attack. So these are the uh, veins, arteries. When they get clogged, then it will prevent the supply of blood to different parts of the body, and that body will be affected. Apart from this, we have some small, small arteries, coronary artery, which are called coronary artery, which are no spread all over the heart, which will be supplying the blood to the heart muscles. So heart also needs blood, right? So if it has to function, if there is no blood supply to the heart will not survive and all the cells will die. So they also have a circulatory system for coronary arteries. So if there are blocks in that, then it results in death of the muscle cells, and it leads to heart attack or cardiac arrest. All the issues happen because of that. So hope you have understood this. So what we have seen the functions of the heart, core components of the heart, how the heart works, because circulation of blood between heart and lungs we saw, circulation of blood between heart and rest of the body we saw the core components of the heart, four chambers, four walls, electrical system, and we saw the functions. So just to give an idea of functions, it does pumping of the blood, which we saw it supplies oxygen, nutrient rich blood, because it is circulating the blood. So whatever nutrients the blood is absorbing are also spread to the different parts of the body. That's why it's called nutrient delivery also. Heart does not as such give any nutrients into the blood or no induce any nutrients. It's because it's flowing from all over the body and taking nutrients from different parts of the body. It is supplying it to the different body parts and cells. That's why it supplies nutrients. Oxygen, as we all know, that is the main thing which is sends the blood to the lungs. It is oxygenated and sent to the different parts of the body. Waste removal is again the same thing, similar to nutrient delivery. It does not do any waste removal. It only removes that carbon dioxide from the blood. The other wastes are removed as it flows through the body to kidneys, liver. All the waste is removed from those organs. But because this is the circulatory system, it supplies blood. It does the waste removal. And next comes the blood pressure regulation. The pressure which the blood is pumped, it is very important, because if there is no pressure in the blood, what will happen? It will not push the blood to the smaller um, small capillaries or small vessels, which help in cleaning the blood or inducing nutrients into the blood. Only because of that, pressure regulation is what is used no for cleaning the blood. Like if the blood enters the kidneys, it requires pressure. For that it can push the toxins out of the blood, which is provided by the heart. So if the blood pressure is low, the heart does not push the blood no fast enough, or it's very slow, then it will result in a low. Then it will, as I told, it will result in low blood pressure, and it will not be able to push the nutrients into the blood or remove the waste from the blood. So this is all about the human heart. Hope you would have enjoyed learning about the heart, or got at least some knowledge of the human heart. Thank you all for your time for watching this video. I will come up with another interesting topic like this in our next session. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my video. Thank you.